All right, we can stand and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have roll call.
Dan Pillow.
Here.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Here.
Kathy Byess.
Here.
Ann Pillow.
Here.
Al Glick. Pam Jackson.
Here. And Al Glick did get a hold of me and said he is unable to be here tonight. What's council's pleasure in that?
Make a motion, we accept Councilman Glick's absence.
I'll second.
Motion by Dan, second by Jennifer. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. Whenever you're ready, Margaret.
Okay. We received a thank you from Mrs. Hensley. I want to thank you and the other groups for the lovely Thanksgiving basket. It was so thoughtful of each of you. It made me feel special. God bless you for your kindness. Thanks again, Betty Hensley.
That's nice. Very nice.
You have the minutes from the December the 2nd meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from December the 2nd.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam, second by Kathy. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you have pay ordinance 12C. This was for biweekly payroll that was paid on December the 13th from the general fund, $6,455.58. From the sewer fund, $1,476. From the water fund, $1,476. For a combined total of $9,407.58.
I'll make a motion to approve 12C 2024.
I'll second it. Motion by Pam, seconded by Ann. Any discussion?
I have one question. Margaret, I think you explained it to us before that Anthony has to use up all his personal time before he can get workers' comp.
Yeah, he's working on it. It's like every other day he talks to somebody different, and then I talk to somebody different. But yes.
Okay, thanks.
Is it not that he has to use it, he's requested to use it?
It doesn't have to use it, he's requested to use
Yeah.
his
Right, because he gets more,
village pay first.
he gets 100%, unlike workman's comp, right?
Yeah, he'll get the full value of the village, and he only gets like, I think it's 70 or something percent
That's what I
from
was thinking.
workman's
70.
comp. Yeah.
And there is a waiting period, what is that, 10, 14? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 7 days before they start
Is it?
paying it.
Thank you.
Ready for the vote? Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And then you have 12D, this is for monthly salaries from the general fund, $8,250, from the water fund, $1,258.82, for a combined total of $9,508.82.
I'll make a motion to approve 12D 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have 12C for accounts, or I'm sorry, 12E for accounts payable. Dispersed from the general fund, $6,862.04. From the water fund, $1,169.24. From the Christmas fund, $1,157.78. $1,157.78. I don't know why I couldn't say that. $9,189.06 is the total. Got tongue tied.
I'll make a motion to approve 12E 2024.
Second. Motion by Pam, second by Jennifer. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received a copy of the Addyston Board of Public Affairs December 9th meeting documents, their minutes from their meeting on the 9th, their November 18th meeting, their collection report that was collected during the month of November for October, and then their pay ordinance for December, their December meeting.
How you doing, Paul?
I would have got them to you sooner, but I just got those today.
Do you want to pass this down that way?
Sure. Ready for the vote?
Yes.
Need a motion
Is
and a
this on?
second.
What's this one on, the water?
This is the water stuff. I just passed out, you got it earlier, this is the water board's docket stuff. If you don't have it, we can bring it back next meeting, because I did send it out a little bit later because I got it late. You want to table it until the next meeting?
Make a motion to table it to the next meeting.
Yeah, Thomas. I'll see ya.
Do you?
No. I'll second it.
Okay.
Table it.
Motion by Kathy, seconded by Pam, to table the water board
Documents.
documents.
Dan
Any
Pillow.
discussion?
Yay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I don't think they
I
have
think
all that.
that's all I have. Yeah.
Is there more?
Do what?
I think I passed the stack.
Oh, I
down
got them,
that
they're
way.
here. I just laid them down because I was in the middle of doing something else when she
All right.
handed them to me. Sorry.
That's okay, it's okay. I'm just like-
We'll get it around when we get it around.
And then you should have received in your online email a copy of the year-to-date expenditure and revenue stuff. And I believe that's all I have there.
Margaret?
Yes.
Just a question. I'm not sure which page I'm on. Is the water board, have they expended all of their money? It seems to me like I saw a negative there, or that they expended.
There
Did I see
might have
that?
been a negative in one of their online things.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I saw there. I didn't get a chance to really go through it, but I did kind of notice.
They have money, but you got to remember, like on these reports, that I don't have it in front of me.
So why
But
did, go ahead, I'm sorry.
This was from yesterday, I guess we got.
So why did we table all the water board documents?
They weren't ready, I guess, to vote for it. I mean,
Because the first page is draft, but the second was November 18th. I just wanted council to be aware that that's not a draft.
well, I think some of them didn't have it, or they didn't receive it, or they couldn't find it, because I sent it out late. As I said, because I got it late. I mean, they can go back and vote on it, don't.
No, I just wanted them to be aware that,
Yeah, the first page
First
is
page is
usually,
draft.
usually there are minutes of that meeting, and then attached to it is the documents that they passed,
At the
like their
previous
previous meeting, their collection report, and their pay ordinance stuff. And I don't know why everything's circled on here, but Mr. Dalton seems to have a problem with me, I think, the way I give it to Lisa or something, but that's here or there, it is what it is.
These are the minutes from October 14th.
yeah, so that's on the next page is 14.
This is October 14th.
Oh,
Okay. Then the next thing they say, the minutes from the November 18th meeting were read at the October 14th meeting.
okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Something wrong there.
she needs to check these dates. So,
Well-
of course, just if you could, just tell her
Yeah.
to check these dates.
I will. But I think that's why it was tabled, Mayor, is because
Yeah.
they got it late.
Okay. Did you have anything else? Margaret?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right, thanks, Margaret.
You're welcome.
Council, the main thing that I want to bring up to you guys tonight is about the MRF funding for First Street. Okay, so I just want to remind you that the project was, the construction cost went up to $229,900, leaving our responsibility at the $72,813 for the MRF funding for First Street. Now, we did choose to close that down. They finally did start putting up signs in areas, if you haven't heard or noticed, that it's going to officially be shut down on January 1st. So, and then I'm guessing we'll figure out what signs that we have to get up to correlate with theirs so we can be at the same time. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I also got an email since the last meeting. Let's see. So I got an email at the last meeting for the 2024 MRF monies that we received. And if we're not going to use this funding, they want us to have it signed before the year's over with. If we're not going to use the funding, then we need to write a letter approved by Village stating that they are turning in the 2024 funds. So in other words, we either sign off and we're going to use those MRF funds, or we wouldn't be able to reapply till 2026.
I've been paying the engineers out of that fund because it's for First Street, and that's what their bill says when I receive it.
You couldn't have been for the MRF funding.
There was money that was left over from a previous, where we got reimbursed for paying the engineer. And when their bills come, they say Addyston / First Street final thing, and then a month later I get another one with the same language in it from the engineer. I mean, I'll show them to you. And it must be money carried over, because I don't show anything as
Yeah,
like
because there's two
active.
different funds that they were pulling from on First Street. And they just, the MRF funds came because of the first round. And he said there's currently an outstanding balance of $2,240.
Well, I'll check it against my stuff, and if it is, I mean, like I said, the engineer's
But he
been
said,
doing against the two things.
Yeah, because he said here there's only an outstanding balance of $2,204. And that should have been from the initial cost.
Oh, I'll look into it, but you know, sometimes it's the way they send their invoices
So
too.
basically 70% of the money that we've gotten to do this project, if we're not going to use it, council needs to approve me to write a letter to tell them that we are not going to use it and send the funding back. Any thoughts or discussions on that?
Yeah, Mayor, we have to make some decisions about, it seems as though they want us to move forward or send the money back. Is that bottom line?
Well, yeah, it's bottom line. If we don't sign off on it, they want the MRF funding back.
Okay.
So that's 157, $1,087.
I just don't know where you're gonna get the money with it, you know, with the financial strains that we're up against.
And that's our portion?
No, our portion's $72,813.
Okay.
It's $5,489 more than the original committed amount of $67,324 because of construction costs going up.
Let's see.
And they need this by,
So the county
By the
engineer,
end of the year, Hamilton County.
Well, they're only
Commissioners.
wanting to do
Commissioners.
something.
Yeah.
yeah.
but who put up the road signs that First Street's blocked off?
Must have been the county, because
Yeah, it was county.
I didn't get any
I mean, it's not
notification
blocked
that-
off officially yet, but they have to put up the warning signs with a date. So they put up the warning signs, and then, did anybody get a hold of you yet? Did you talk to anybody yet?
One of the, not necessarily a resident, but a concerned citizen travels that way daily. He called.
Well, I mean,
last week.
besides them, somebody from, because I need to know what signs are they putting up and what signs we need to put up. That's where we need to find that out, because I need to know where they stopping, or, because that's where we have to get ours up.
I
Maybe
don't
there's a
know.
big
Nobody
sign right
called.
there at the bottom of, what is that, Fiddler's?
Yeah,
Green
see,
right
so they
there.
might actually
There's a big
throw
red
in
sign there when you're coming down the hill, you can see it.
There's an orange
That they're
sign on the
closing,
pole.
red or orange, yeah, they're closing the street on January 1st.
Yep, that'd be us.
Yeah.
I
But
did
that'd
take a
be,
picture of it.
but we didn't put the sign up.
No. they
But
didn't.
that MRF funding is what's supposed to correct First Street.
Yes.
I think somebody should talk to the county commissioners or the engineer and advise them that they may not get First Street back open again unless they move on that MRF funding to
Yeah,
make
I'll
it
try that
a
again.
total grant of the entire amount.
I'll try it again. I mean, council, if you just, that's a hard decision to make. I can give them a call again tomorrow and try to plead with them, since we're now have our signs actually up. Say we haven't budged, or we're moving forward, and see about if they'll be nice to us. I don't know, Christmas present.
But I
You
really
know, in lieu
think,
of the situation with
Right.
us losing money,
I think you'd be better off to,
Let me give them a go at it one more time before.
I'd see them in person.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
'Cause
let's
it's
make a
harder to
trip
say
down to see
no.
Miss Denise.
Oh, yeah, when you go down and sit in the front rows and stuff and bug people, I do
Right.
that. I do that.
It's like calling up for a date. It's easy to say no over the phone.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You gotta get them in person.
I just need to find out which one's directly, I need to get the one directly. I can't remember the names, but I think there's 3 of them.
The commissioners.
Yeah.
It's either Denise,
Treehouse,
Elise
Dumas,
She's one.
Reese.
what's the other one?
Reese,
Reese
Dumas.
Yeah, Dumas, yeah. And then Veda is the one that Miss Reese always is, that's her aide is Veda.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course I know,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anywho, yeah, let me give that one more shot.
So
See if
Lisa,
they
when you
can.
read that, did you say that if they want this back, and if we give this back, then there will be no funds available in 2026?
No, we won't be available again till then,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But what they're asking for now is the $2,204, the
No,
balance.
the engineers are, yeah,
The engineers are asking,
for that balance.
well, I've been trying to get it together, and I even talked to him Friday when he was out here and showed him what I was working on. Because if you'll notice, there are some invoices being paid on the pay ordinance tonight.
Yeah, and I also told him to back off on some of the projects with that for now. Till we can really figure out where we are. If you guys just want to table that for a minute, or just not say anything, and I'll come back again.
Yeah, because we'll have to have a,
We have to have something. One or the
special
other, one or the
meeting
other.
of some sort. just
We
to-
will.
Just to see what they say.
I mean,
What we're looking at or what we're wanting as a council, I'm asking, is help from the county. Is that what our main?
yeah,
project is?
give it one more go.
Mhm.
Road trip. All right, well, council, that's all I have for right now. I'm just gonna go over to Bob.
I have an ordinance amending the appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2024.
Of course, I have questions right out of the box. Did we meet on
Yes,
this?
that's what I'm getting ready to say. We did have a meeting on, if I may, Mayor.
Yeah.
Council did,
Yeah, go ahead.
Finance Committee meeting, members did meet, that's a word mouthful, on the 16th, not the 16th, today's 16th, on the 12th, I'll get my day straight here. And, you know, with everything that's left over, Margaret went through all the numbers, provided us with documents, and this is what is left.
This is not what's really left, this is what was actually spent, based
yeah.
on the money that we had coming in.
Right. Yeah, that's what was spent. So these are the final numbers. So we have to clear 24 out before we can even begin to think of 25. And we did take a look at that also, but we need to figure this one out first. So the committee is recommending going with the numbers that's on here.
Which one are we looking at? This
On the
This is
2024.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's two of them, it's a little confusing.
I'm a bit confused. I just need to know if it's something we had to have in
Yes,
yes.
it's got to
We
be
do this
down there
every
by
year.
the 31st
of this.
of this month.
Every year we do this.
And Kim's already sent us all emails telling us that the budget committee, county budget committee is waiting for everybody to respond with
Yeah.
their year-end
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I just,
This is just
I
year
mean,
numbers.
you know, it was trying to get it to the committee with everybody still coming to me wanting to spend money. It's so hard. And, you know, I keep saying, you know, you got to go with what I have purchase orders out there for. We just can't keep doing this. Every year we try to close it off, and it just seems like they keep coming, and coming.
we have an ordinance for November. Is
Right.
that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, gang, but I don't have a clue what this is that I'm voting on. I mean, I don't know the numbers. You know, I hadn't had a chance to look at it until now.
We can set another meeting before the end
Well,
of the
I
year.
don't want to set a lot of meetings because we're going to be busy as heck, but it would be nice to got that yesterday. You know, it would have been, that's all I'm saying.
All I can tell you is the numbers aren't going to change from what's on here. I have maybe 12 purchase orders encumbered against this money to get us through until the end of the year.
But I still have the right to see that.
Yeah, you
As a
do.
council person.
Sure.
Whether it changes or
I'm
not
not
changes.
saying that, I'm just saying that, you know, it is what it is.
Because this is what it is, like right now, what we're spent. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Those are the
Yes.
final
This is what we spent
appropriations.
this
The
year.
24 are the final, yeah, final numbers.
The final numbers, okay.
So do we want another meeting?
No, I don't want another meeting.
Holidays
Way too
coming
many
up and
meetings.
I mean, we're here right now.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that we read it by title only 3 times and declare it an emergency.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Any discussion?
We gotta do better.
Yeah, we do.
I'm sorry.
And the workers have
We
got to
gotta
do
do
better.
better
When
than
Margret
this.
Ann
That's my
tells them they can't, they can't.
You say you're doing the best you can, Margaret?
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I'm not
that, you know, we
arguing
have
that.
an ordinance passed, and they shouldn't be coming to me, and I've explained that and explained that. I just want some support, and when I tell them no, it's no.
Hey, I'm behind you. Yes, well, that's all the discussion I had.
Yeah. And obviously, there's been a lot on everyone's plate and distractions with everything else along with this. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
This we have to have.
Yeah, yes, we have to have this. And we do this every year, and we're usually in the beginning of December when we do it.
Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading an ordinance to amend appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2024. Second reading an ordinance to amend appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2024. Third reading an ordinance to amend appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2024.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam, seconded by Kathy. Is there any discussions? No discussions, we'll vote.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Council, I have to give the number later because I left my paper upstairs from my minutes.
And Pam, do you have,
We'll have the, yeah, till it comes to me on this one. The next one.
wait till then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to go ahead and
No, we can wait.
weigh in?
Might as well.
That's all I have.
It's all right.
Okay. All right, well then we'll go ahead and, since we have one member here out here, we'll go ahead and go to Scott. Thank you, Scott.
Good evening, Your Honor, members of council.
Hi, how you doing?
Sounds good.
Good.
Okay, for the month of November, Addyston, we had no fires, so that's good.
Good.
That's what we want. We had 13 EMS calls, no hazardous conditions reported, no service calls reported, good intent calls, we had 2. Now that could be a variety of different things such as emergency to property or something that's non-emergency or non-fire related. They're non-specific, they were just two responses.
Uh-oh. I'll go back
We
to
had no
the-
fire alarms for a total
We got
of
to March
15
now.
incidents for the month of November.
Yes, it ain't pressing.
And then under the fire prevention category, all inspections at Addyston have been completed for 2024. Pre-plans will resume next year. What was able to be completed was done, but there are some that still need to be completed. So those will resume again next year. There were 4 hydrants that were serviced and flushed for a total of 4, wouldn't say incident, but 4 records of communication as far as those items go. Other than that, there isn't anything else to report. It's been pretty quiet. Everything seems to be good. No issues with any inspections that we ran into. Everybody has done what we asked them to do as far as fire code compliance. And we'll resume everything with that in March, again for 25. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Just a quick one.
Yes, sir.
13 EMS, is that pretty low by comparison or not?
It's a little on the low side, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's
Usually
good.
it's a little bit, well, that's good, yeah, we want that to be low, we want no fires, we don't want to have to come down and deal with any of that, because obviously someone's having a very bad day if we have to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's been relatively, it's a relatively lower number.
Are you saying that every fire code violation has been corrected in the village?
Well, all the fire inspections for the village of Addyston have been completed. Now, there are outstanding fire code violations that I have in a separate file under the village of Addyston that is ongoing.
Okay.
Dealing with the bricks building and other areas that have been continuous for quite a while. I'm not really counting those as part of the normal inspection process because I'm dealing with a lot of legalities with those. So those are not corrected yet. Those take a while to go through the legal process. I'm giving people a chance to do what they need to do. I'm assuming that Mr. Schmidt still owns that bricks building at 204. I believe Ron Schmidt is the owner of that building. I've been dealing with him with violations ever since he bought it. So that's just an ongoing thing with him. I'm trying to get it mitigated as quickly as possible, but sometimes he doesn't like to be too cooperative. I placed a lot of expenses on him, but my goal is to try to keep the building safe, to make sure that it is safe to occupy. And right now, there are some things in there that are not falling into that category. As I get updates on this, as the progress continues with this building, I'll be sure to either let Mayor know about it through a certified letter or a regular verbal communication, whichever you prefer, Your Honor. I would be happy to do either, but as of right now, nothing has progressed since early this year on it. And a lot of this depends on how the Village of Addyston wants to enforce this as far as the legal process goes. Because you are still an incorporated village, and it has to be initiated from the village initially for me to take action on that, to kick it up legally. I've given this guy compliance orders. I've done everything that I can do.
Long enough.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it depends on how aggressive the village wants to get with this. Now, if it was the township, I can, that's the township, so that's a different thing. But since you are an incorporated village, it has to come initially from council as far as how they want to address things. Your Honor, I believe you are aware of some of the things that have been going on at the Bricks building.
Yeah.
Nothing has really changed from the last update that I gave you. If there were, I would have definitely told you about it, but we're kind of just stalled out right now with what we need to
I think
do.
the last thing I remember was just the wall that needed to be put in between those two spots.
Yeah, fire separation was put in between there,
Okay.
but they did not submit a drawing to me indicating what type of material. I required a 2-hour fire rating between the two different occupancies. I have no idea what the rating is because it was never inspected, it didn't go through the proper procedure for that. So the wall's built, it's there, but if it's built properly and if it's properly rated for the 2 hours that I required, that I'm afraid I'm unable to answer. I don't know if you're aware of this. Mr. Schmidt hired an architect to go through that bricks building. And Your Honor, I may have included this in the correspondence to you as far as this bricks building is concerned, or in earlier letters to you, but he stated that he had this architect that was going to go through the building. And I told this architect, I can't remember his name, it's been a couple of years, I told him that I wanted a statement from him stating that the building is, and I quote, structurally sound and safe to occupy. But he would not do it. So, Your Honor, I think I sent you a letter indicating that that building does not need fire approval for occupancy. But yet, we have a pet store in there, and we have the bar on the other end. So, there are some serious, in my opinion, structural integrity issues with that building. But that's where we kind of stand with it. The windows are broke out of it, the roof is leaking terribly. I mean, the building is in serious decay. And I couldn't get the engineer, I couldn't get the architect to do the statement that I wanted. So therefore, just to cover everybody's bases, I had to write that letter indicating that, no, this building is not approved for occupancy through fire code. If that makes any sense to you, how that's how it works. So that's where we stand with that.
So if it's not approved for occupancy, how is it occupied?
Well, if you'd like me to get into that now with you, I will. I'll explain to you how it happened. So, would you like me to? Because I can.
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
We
so
don't know.
correct me if I'm wrong here. Does Don Mercer still work for the Village of Addison as the building code official, or does Ed Lindenschmidt still do that?
Don Mercer, he's our building inspector.
Okay,
So he's the one that Ron should have initially went through with that part of, with what you're dealing with falls in Don's lap.
so here's how the procedure works. So Miami Township and the Village of North Bend, they use Hamilton County for their plans examining for the building part of it. So they don't have their own building department. Miami Township uses the county, the Village of North Bend uses the county. So what happens is, an applicant will submit an application to either construct a new building or change or alter an existing one. And they have to submit architectural drawings to the county. They review it and approve it or deny it. If it gets denied by the county, it goes back to the architect to make the changes that needs to be made. If the county approves it, they send it to me. I make sure it meets fire code approval. If it does, then I send it back to the county approved. If it doesn't, I send it back to the county denied, and they send it back to the architect, and the whole process starts all over again until it meets all approvals. If I approve it, then the county will issue a building permit to construct or change or alter the building that they want to do, and they have to follow the drawing exactly. They cannot deviate from that. So therefore, I do periodic spot checks to make sure that that drawing is being followed. And at the end of everything, the county will come out and I will come out and we will do what we call a building final. And we will make sure that that building is safe to occupy and that all fire and building codes have been met. And then we sign off on it, and then the county issues a certificate of occupancy to that property. And then I get a copy of that, and it goes on record, and then the building is now safe to occupy. Well, none of that happened with the Bricks building. Because Don Mercer works for the Village of Addyston, and the county is not used for building review. So therefore, I'm having trouble communicating with Mr. Mercer as far as how the procedure is supposed to go. Now, this sort of thing has happened multiple times in Cleves.
This goes back to the last code enforcement too, by the way.
Exactly. So that's where we are with it, the procedure. Let me ask you a question. Does Addyston, how does your process work? Does an applicant have to come to the village and apply for a building permit, and then the drawings go to Don Mercer? Is that how it works?
That's how I'm aware it worked in the past.
Okay, that's, to me,
We haven't had a
that's-
lot of building things going on, so.
No, Addyston typically doesn't have a lot of that going on. There was Imperium Fitness, there were some changes and alterations. Shamrock had something going on in there with their hood system for their kitchen suppression. And when they moved from that building to this one, there was some stuff going on in the Bricks building. So not a whole lot, but the procedure would be, in reference to the county, that once the applicant applied for a permit through the Village of Addyston, because it's got to go through the village, okay? They can't come directly to me. So then that drawing will go to Don Mercer, then he should approve it or deny it. If he approves it, then he should send it to me for approval, then I would send it back to him, and then the building permit would be issued. That's where we're breaking down. I'm not getting any drawings from Mr. Mercer. And I did not issue or sign off on any certificate of occupancy for the Bricks building because it doesn't need fire approval for occupancy, because the procedure wasn't followed. That building, it needs so much work. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in repairs. And he only spent $20,000 for the whole building. So I think Mr. Schmidt thought that he could buy it, clean it up, throw a coat of paint on it, and start renting out the units, and didn't follow the procedure. That's what I feel has happened here. So the building, to me, is not safe to occupy, and I wouldn't have anybody in it.
So how many occupants are there?
There's two. There's Riverside Pet Store, and then there's the lounge or the bar at the very end. I don't really know.
That's a
It's the
Saddlemen.
Yeah.
Saddlemen's, okay.
Motorcycle club.
Saddlemen, the motorcycle club.
Club.
So they're down there on the very end. Now, Mr. Schmidt has made some improvements, so in his defense, he's made some, but they're hardly scratching the surface when we're dealing with structural integrity and making the building safe to occupy. He's done some things, minor things, but he hasn't even scratched the surface on what he needs to do, in my opinion, based off what I see on the fire codes. And I do things like this to cover the liability. If that building were to collapse or something were to happen due to the structural integrity, what do you think would happen after that? The first thing they're gonna do is this building been inspected? Is it safe to occupy? I mean, a good attorney would ask those questions, and then I would have to say, no, it isn't.
Well, the next question is, if it's not safe to occupy, why are those people even in it? And is anybody giving them a notice?
Well, again, that has to come from the Village of Addyston, because you are an incorporated. I can recommend, but as far as initial legal action, it's gotta come from the village. Now, I'll give you all the data and evidence and backing that you need to support it, but initially, it has to come from the village.
I would send that over.
Well, I've sent a letter to Mayor indicating that the building is not safe to occupy, and that situation
We've
has
actually
not,
been down this road before, Bob.
that situation has
I'll
not
send you
changed.
what I had again.
Okay.
So what I've sent is still what it is. It hasn't changed from that
He's
point.
talking, yeah, this goes way back, so I'll give
Who's
you.
the attorney on it?
There's no attorney.
No, there's no attorney. There's nothing, it hasn't gotten to anything about to that point.
The name he's saying is the landlord.
Ron Schmidt's the owner of the
Yes.
building. As far as I know, he's still the owner of that building.
And you have all his contact information?
I do.
Okay.
I do. But I haven't corresponded with him for at least over a year now.
He owns a few other places around here too.
I mean, my primary
I'll
goal
get with you and get that
is
one.
to make sure that these buildings are safe to occupy. And that's it. And it doesn't matter if it's Addyston or North Bend or Cleves or Miami Township, it's the same across the board. If I see a problem, then I'm gonna try to address that problem. But in this case, I have to go through the village because you have your own separate council, your own separate divisions and everything else. In the township, I would have already had this problem done. But I can't do that here because I can't go over council's head, it's gotta go through council. But all the evidence, all the information, all the data, everything has been submitted. The only thing that's changed is just a greater span of time has gone by now. And that's all. Well, that may be something to think about, but I would think that building should be not occupiable, me, because that's just the way I am. I just don't think it's safe to be in there because of the decay of what it's been through. Just the weather and the elements have just gone to work on that building over the course of time. And it's just to a point now where it's just in bad shape.
Well, I actually thought they had done something to the roof.
I often wondered how the people underneath got where they were at when I heard on the
Yes.
street.
I mean, he still has
About how
broken
bad it is
windows.
up above.
Oh,
He
yeah.
still has broken windows. I don't know, has anybody been
We've
inside this
replaced some
building
of
recently?
them. Not recently, no.
I mean, there are holes.
Not since I was in there with you.
There are holes in the floors up there that go all the way through to the bottom. I mean, the floors are decayed and rotted in that place.
Yeah,
Now, there's no occupants up above, this is up above, but
yeah. but
it
it's still
just
fall down.
goes
Still
through.
fall
You
down.
can't just fix 5% of a building. It's gotta be all of it or none of it.
Right.
I
So
did
it's
thought they
just-
got to the roof.
It's just in
I
general,
didn't-
very poor deteriorating condition. So I know we probably weren't planning on getting into all this tonight, but,
Hey, that's fine, let's
Yeah.
revisit it.
yeah, yes, exactly.
Again.
So,
I appreciate it.
any information, any help that you need to try to get this problem mitigated, I certainly will. I have an entire file dating back to when Mr. Weber was here. That's how far back this goes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I know.
So I'll leave it at that. If anybody has any questions or concerns or any help that I can give you, whatever course of action you want to take, I'll help you get it done.
Thank you, Scott, appreciate
Okay.
that.
All right, that's all I have. If anybody has any other questions?
Thank you very much.
No problem. Inspections will resume back in March for the next year, everything that happens. I will say this, I did complete the inspection on Ineos today. They are okay, all their fire protection systems are up and working and everything is good. I did speak to the safety director. He tells me that they're going to remain in production till about April, and then they're gonna start decommissioning the plant after that till the end of the year. I told him today that until this plant is completely decommissioned and everybody is off-site, that all fire protection systems in this plant must be up and running and must be code compliant. So I told them that. I told them, I said, I'll be doing spot checks and making sure, because as they start the decommission, and the safety director didn't disagree with me by saying that they might try to cut corners as they're taking the plant down. He didn't really elaborate on what that meant. That is such a vague term, but fire protection systems, they're expensive to maintain, and that might be something that they may consider doing. I'm not saying they're going to, and he didn't say, but he just said they may try to do something like that. So I will reassure council that I will make sure that I keep up on them. I will be checking them periodically. We do inspections on all the industry in December, but I'm going to go back at the end of April and probably around August to make sure that those fire protection systems are up and running until everybody is off-site and it's decommissioned.
Did they use the words "take it down"?
Say again?
Did they use the words, did the plant safety director use the words "until we take it down"?
Until it's decommissioned,
Okay.
yes. Which means that all production has stopped, and when they decommission it, they're going to remove the ability for the plant to be productive. Like everything that makes it produce what it has, when they decommission, they take all it away so it can't operate. So it makes it non-functional. So that's what they told me, and this is all up in the air. Nothing's been confirmed. He was just giving me estimates.
Right.
But I asked that for the purposes of inspections, because normally I would go back there in December. Well, they're talking about having a decommission by then. So I'll need to go back sooner and make sure that they're maintaining their fire protection until it is decommissioned. But the exact dates on all that is not confirmed. I don't have exact dates. This is just right now speculation as to when it will happen. So that is the biggest, most complicated, most complex, most hazardous inspection that I have here. So I definitely scrutinize everything over there very carefully and to make sure that everything is safe.
Yes, thank you.
To
Appreciate
the best of
that.
my ability, there's some dangerous chemicals over there, and it is what it is, but make sure that they're being safely handled and the operation is going per fire code, and make sure that all fire protection systems are up and running, and everything is good over there as far as all of that.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, any other concerns?
Thank you.
Why you got me here?
Merry Christmas.
I know, I'm kind of long-winded, but I take my job very seriously, and I want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Don't want anybody getting hurt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So Mayor, we need to contact Don Mercer. Is that
Yep.
what this is? So we can get this?
Well, yeah, I can get that rolling.
Yeah, because if that's
Let me
unsafe-
pull out all the back information again, because we've been down this
Yeah,
road
I
before.
remember the conversation, but I think we kind of all assumed that some things were getting, a few things were being taken care of, but it sounds like not.
Well, a few things were.
You just
The
patched what
small
you had
things,
to.
but it's
Yeah.
He
right.
patched what he had
So a
to.
lot of the patchwork and that he's been doing, because he got a full list.
Yeah, because if it's
But-
unsafe, we have to protect the village and the people that's occupied.
Yeah. Well, they won't be,
Yeah,
once you step down that road.
right. I don't,
Ooh,
they're the professionals.
yep. All right, we'll bring it back to committees. Dan, did you have anything?
No, Mayor, thank you. Well, I do, but I shouldn't say no. I'm just standing by to see what our next move is as council, what our future looks like. Obviously, it starts with the money.
Right.
Are we going to be able to function as a village? We need to get together and at some point in time.
That was my question. When is the subcommittee that you created? Getting together to, I don't know that we have anything.
Should be,
that-
I mean, there's not a lot that you're gonna have until January anyway. A lot of meetings and everything like that have been shoved to that point. But also, we need to know, like, where we are. Like, what does it look like if we take away the monies from, say, the contractors list, everything? What does that look like exactly? Is that what it was I didn't get to last finance
They
meeting.
don't look good. We did discuss it.
We did
discuss
discuss it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but we need to pin it down.
Yeah, we did discuss some of that, but first thing
I
was to
mean, as far
finalize this
as
year's
the-
an hour. Like, we're kind of waiting on some definites too, you know, like, do we know
There
anything?
is no definites
You know,
right
it's like,
now.
I mean,
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. There is no definites right now. However, though, I mean, you guys, as far as the NEO's committee personnel, if you want to get together anytime you want to get together, set a meeting up.
right. So did you have a meeting with the representative at NEOS?
Yes, quite a few. And it's still up in the air. There's no solid dates for anything.
So nothing new
Nothing new.
come out of that meeting?
Because you got to figure, you got guys, you know, that he answers to that's also
Yeah.
not giving him all the information. It's still the same as what he just basically said to you guys tonight. It's still the same. They plan on stopping production by April, and it's game over.
Right.
I mean, we've really got to sink that in.
So we know it's
I mean,
game
so
over.
we already know that's around.
We already know it's
at
game
least
over.
Yeah,
$400,000 just on the general fund. That's not including water or anything else that they use.
Yeah,
out there.
but please, we have to get together. We can talk around this table and everybody say, well, you know, it's this or that and the other. But moving forward, this is so serious.
It is serious.
We need to, as a council, know, and we don't have to wait till April to
No,
find out.
that's what I'm
We need to
saying.
know as soon as possible where we're gonna be. That's all I have.
well, and I'm waiting for the next meeting too with like the Port Authority in Ready Cincinnati. I haven't met with them again either.
For like,
It's, you know, everybody's schedule and everything, and right now, this month, we're just not getting a lot. You know, there's no definites right now, at all.
yeah.
Yeah. The only definite we should have is what we have. We can do that.
Right.
Nobody has control over that but us.
Yeah. So off of that, just like, I know it's not my turn yet to talk about finance, but we discussed all this in there, but, you know, not definite things, but things that we know it's gonna take a big hit. But we have to have appropriations for next year. And how are we gonna base that on what? Just on an assumption it's gonna be?
We have to do it like 1 month at a time
Yeah.
for right now.
That's kind of what we thought. We're just gonna try to, if this is for like to do like 30 days and then see where, start in January, really sit down and find these numbers. It's gonna be a
That's
devastating.
kind of why I
for the village.
said January's the month.
Yeah. So that's why we are recommending to go into a temporary, just 1 month budget for the new year.
Until you can meet again in January and see what other monies, you know, because I've been in touch with Rita, and out of the $498,000 that we got, say, this year, they make up $346,000 of that. So if you look at that, and that's earnings money, that, it's already dropped for what we're gonna get in January. She's all, Angela, the girl at Rita has already told me that from across the street has dropped from the previous month. So, and then if you figure that the 21,000 in property taxes, you know, that's general too. And then with the water and sewer, talking to the water clerk, I had her go back 3 years and give me what they had brought in for water and sewer. And it's about $84,000. One year it was, I think it was, probably last year it was 106,000, and that might be because they got the payment earlier in December and not held over until January. So it is money that, you know, it's all over that, over there. We don't get that much in the general fund monthly, but
Mayor, have they started laying people off over there
No.
already? No, not yet.
No, they have to put out a warn notice. And
I
the
was
warn
just
notice is a
wondering.
90-day thing to where it gives the employees time. Now, however, they know they're shutting down, they just haven't had a definite date.
Right.
So we don't even have a definite shutdown date.
I didn't know if they were starting to dwindle down there.
I mean, there are some employees that
That
they
have
have
left,
that's,
they're leaving.
yeah.
You can't blame them, I mean, gotta have a job.
So that's probably why you see a bit of a decrease, or someone that's taken early retirement already.
Mhm.
But other than that, there's not a lot to share at this point. We're still on Danny. Danny, did you have anything else?
I'm done there. Thank you.
Jennifer?
I can't talk.
The Laws and Contracts Committee did have an opportunity to meet on December 4th. We met about 1 o'clock, I do believe. And we had before us the agreement for police protection services and the contract for fire and DMS services. And the committee recommended that we do a working council meeting because we didn't feel that at that time we had enough information to move forward. For example, the fire and EMS, if we figure that it doubled and we just weren't ready to make that decision on our own to go ahead with that contract yet. So we wanted to bring it back to council. And the fire and EMS.
They said North Bend and Cleves.
So let me go back into that for a minute, because I was going to and I just forgot. So we have till March with Miami Township now. They pushed that to March, so you've got time to deal with that one. And I do have a meeting with Delhi on January 3rd. Like I said, a lot of things have been pushed to January at this point because of holidays and stuff, but to see what they could do for us, you know, about costs and things like that. So I've been reaching out to other areas that are close to us to find out what that's gonna look like.
And then our other question was our obligation to have fire and an EMS. If we could have supply one or the other, that was a question from Mr. Bob. And if it would make a difference on the price of the contract.
Like, are we obligated, I guess, to
To
have
Do EMS.
And
Yeah.
fire. Can we just have fire and let them cover EMS?
I'll have to look at that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And on the police protection services, we understand the contract is signed, but there are some questions that were presented to us at our meeting that we did go over. And we wanted to present it to council, and that's the paper that I did pass out to everyone.
I just had a question about this, the sheriff paying rent here. Do they pay rent in North Bend and Cleves to occupy that building? So why would they have to pay rent here? I mean,
That's entirely something that's on your guys' list there that y'all have to talk about.
But I don't, I mean, if they're not paying in other villages.
So we were wondering if there was a way that we could have a meeting to discuss the items that we have on our list.
Is this our list for the meeting?
Well, not our list from the meeting, but some of the concerns were from the meeting.
Okay.
And some of the highlighted things that I showed you in the contract already, that we still needed answers to. So
Erin is what, the clerk of court?
She's administrative secretary.
Okay, so she wouldn't even handle anything with Hamilton County, right? That would go through their clerk of court
With the sheriff?
with the sheriff. So
Yeah.
that, we wouldn't have any responsibility for that.
So we think we just need a little bit better clarification. pretty much. And we wanted to just have a meeting with everyone to look at this and to look over the contract.
So I have a question for Bob, since we've already signed that contract, it's a binding contract, right?
Have we signed the contract?
Yeah, it
Which
has been
starts on
signed.
January 1?
They said it was signed.
It's signed.
It was signed, an ordinance was passed
Yeah, it's
to
signed,
enter into it with them.
yeah.
You did
I
that
just said, we
2-3
just
months
didn't,
ago.
yeah, we just didn't, I just, at the one meeting, I said we can hold it for a minute if you had any questions,
But
we
it's
went ahead and
signed, in
passed
other
it and
words,
signed
it's-
because,
So it is a
motion
binding
was
contract,
passed,
we can't
so-
ask for the changes, I mean, we can recommend, and
You
I'm sure
can
they
ask
work
for
with us.
changes,
but they don't
Yeah,
have
I
to.
think
they
they
don't
work
have
with
to.
Okay.
I mean,
But-
technically, regardless of what's on there, you can tell them you don't want them in your building.
The things that are not in the contract is what I'm noticing. Nowhere in the contract that says they'll occupy our building.
But my thing is, if they're here to do service, where are they gonna occupy, from Cleves and come here? I would rather have them in this building than people know that the police are in the village.
That's good, all I'm saying is not in the contract. That's the only point I was making.
I don't understand why nobody would want them in the building when they're gonna be protecting the village citizens.
It's not the fact that nobody wants them in the building.
Well, that's not-
It's just saying,
I'm not gonna argue with you, Danny.
it's not an argument.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
it's
saying
always
it's
an argument
not
with you.
in the contract.
It's always an argument with you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I missed that, Kathy. I'm
I said
sorry.
it's always an argument with you. Anything I say is an argument with you.
Kathy, this has nothing to do with you.
I'm done.
It has to do with this.
I'm done.
I'm talking to council.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you individually. Please.
Well, we just probably need to talk to them about whoever has
Right,
concerns.
whoever's
Sure,
right, must have been in every, yeah. And then I think
Absolutely.
we had another question about.
I think they'll
um,
work with us.
About gas and who would we be covering gas? So there was a lot of other questions in that meeting too that we had.
Well, I jokingly asked the lieutenant, because he had come up, and he brought somebody, a family member that I had asked about, that's in the patrol. And the kid said he had to go gas up. And I looked at the lieutenant and I said, how does that work exactly? And he said he would have to get with Captain Cattleman or Major Cattleman or whatever. But he sort of said that in some like, he thought maybe it was like everybody shares a percentage or something. I mean, I don't know for sure, but, you know, because I said, well, we've always had our own gas cars, you know, like that,
I
and we
certainly
do.
understand that, yeah.
But,
Well, it comes out of the contracted amount, is
yeah,
that correct?
right,
Right,
I
the
think
gas
so,
prices.
yes.
So there are a few articles that we marked. We marked 2.2, we marked 2.7, so more than just the items on this list that we've gone through our contract.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, we do have to have another special meeting for this MRF funding, so we'll schedule that as well. Let's do a working meeting for both items. And if we need to add something else, we'll add something else.
Thank you, Mayor.
Is that something I really don't want to do until
I
January?
know with the holiday coming up.
This is important.
Because, I mean, we definitely have a signed contract already. So I guess the question I'm going to throw out there, because council approved it, and I know we still have questions, and I think they'll work with us. Is this something we have to do? Well, yeah, because we still have to have a special meeting for the, damn it.
Yeah.
You're trying, aren't you?
I'm trying. For a break, yeah.
Well, are we gonna all be
So-
here Friday? Are we gonna be all here Friday?
I won't be here Friday.
Transition things.
Someone's supposed to be here Friday.
Transition.
You're not, right?
Oh, no, it's my works
Yeah, that's right.
Christmas party at the same time.
Oh, Yeah, that's a lot to go through.
Okay, well,
But we
I
still have to have a special meeting for MRF funding anyway. Would this Thursday work for everybody?
I work. I can get until after 7.
No, it won't work for me, unfortunately.
I work Thursday and Friday.
Is everybody
Wednesday,
coming,
Thursday, and
is everybody coming Friday for the lunch?
She can't,
I can't.
and he's not here right now.
I'm off like the 26th, 27th, and 30th.
Well,
Can we authorize the mayor to look at some of the questions we have?
Yeah, I think we could, yeah.
well, we still, the MRF funding has to be done
Oh, yeah.
By-
Oh, yeah.
next
the end of the
week.
year.
So it's like, even if there's 5 of you,
Right.
I mean, I'll try to resolve that one to where we don't have to meet either.
Yeah,
But if we do, you have to make the decision whether or not we're gonna send back the funds.
Well,
I think you should send the funds back, and I'll tell you why, because Margaret Ann has really been struggling with money, trying to figure out where we're gonna
Where we're
get,
gonna
we're
get the
really
money.
gonna take a hit after the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know where you're gonna get any matching funds for
Well, give me a
things,
chance with the commissioners,
Yeah.
and then
Hopefully they foot the bill for
then
us.
council
Yeah.
can make, they can make their decision.
I mean, truthfully, that's
After you
what we've
speak to
done in the
them.
past, is told them, you know, we don't have the money. We've done it
Right.
before up there, and, you know, I did send, you know, you guys brought it up, and even brought it up, I think, the last minute or meeting or so, and wanted to know what the results was. Well, that's the results, Ann, because I did send, but they didn't reach out and contact us and say, can we talk about this, or, you know, you want to, or, okay, here's your sign.
No, for the signs for the shutdown already, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I asked, because I remember I emailed Margaret, hey, did anybody call you and tell you?
The impact really hasn't hit them
Yeah.
yet. And once the impact hits them,
That's when you're gonna feel
Yeah,
it.
just
that's
like
when they're gonna get a hell of a lot more phone calls than we will.
Oh,
Oh,
they
yeah.
got
That's
our
what
phone
happened before.
number on the sign. It says call.
Then would
It
be,
says Addyston, it says 513-941-1313.
then you just send them to the
It does.
It
commissioner.
does say it right
That's what
on.
the county put on their sign?
Yeah, because I stopped and took a
Yeah, they did.
picture of it.
Well, you
So
just
give
have
me
to
another
say-
day on that, yeah, and change that number to there.
Reach out to the county.
Wow.
Yeah, give me another day on that.
So if they won't do it,
I mean, where are we gonna get the money to do it?
I know.
That's just it.
that's why
At this point, I
we
mean,
could resolve that now.
we're strapped.
If they say no, sorry
We'll
about
send
your
the
luck,
money back, yeah.
which they could.
They could, maybe not this time around,
They might be
because
nice.
we're in a different situation than the last time I was pestering.
And it's Christmas.
Yeah,
Well, but they, I think,
Yeah.
you know, everybody around us knows what's happened to us. Everybody you talk to says, yeah, they heard, or they're watching it, or, you know.
because we're definitely gonna have to get down to some serious business soon. But we're not fixing anything in 2 weeks, okay?
No.
Right.
No, it's not possible.
But we do need to have some sort of, just give me a day, you know what, I will contact you guys. How about that? And say, look, what dates work for you? And some dates if we have
We've
to.
done
get back
early
together.
morning meetings
Yeah,
regularly.
Yeah, we have,
I'll just spend the night.
before work meetings.
I mean,
What was that, 6 or 6:30? I can't remember.
Yeah, we've had
6 o'clock.
6.
I think it was 6.
you know what, I'll reach out to each and every one of you on some dates and times and see what each and every one of you think. And I'll say, all right, well, here's a good medium. All right. Did you have anything else, Jennifer?
No, thank you. I did not make it to the meeting. I worked that day, but I think they had some stuff about the tie into the city,
Yeah.
if you would like to speak.
That's, I don't think he needs to this time around. You guys tabled it.
Okay. Did we table it?
You tabled it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said, Never mind. Yeah,
But-
so that got tabled
I
this
mean,
time around.
there's money that needs to be spent in case we need it, it's emergency, right?
Well,
if something with the water.
yeah, if we have an emergency, we're in trouble as far as hooking into Cincinnati water, but you guys tabled that for now. And we can get that at January 6th.
Okay. Sounds good.
We do think we have a way
Get out of
to
December.
help with the money.
Yes.
Oh, a way to help with the money? Oh, that's always sounds good.
Yeah.
Always.
All right. Miss Ann?
I have very little. We had a Parks and Playground Committee meeting on the 3rd of December. Purpose of the meeting was to update the committee on what we still need to do in the park in order to finish with our things that are being supported by the grants. And that was to get water into the park. They're looking at a line down from Church Street. And then once they get the line down, installing a fountain in the park. And then the other thing was to fill in some of the low areas in the park with the dirt. That pile of dirt that's beside the basketball court. And complete the area around the flagpole. We didn't come up with an answer of how we're going to do that, but that's one of them. And the other thing, to work on the rules for the park and rental of the park by the public. That's all I have. Margaret, I gave you a copy.
Yes, you did.
All right, thank you, Miss Ann.
The water line, how much do we have to pay to have that placed?
That's all in the grant.
I mean, do we have to pay something up front for it?
Well,
Is what I'm asking.
yeah.
Sure.
Then
I
we get
mean, at this
reimbursed.
time, we're,
I'm hoping to get the money back from them soon.
right, you still haven't got the money back from them
Well, I
yet?
just sent it in a week and a half ago because that was as quick as I could get it done to get
Yeah,
to them.
I understand.
And get all the canceled checks and stuff back in. So, and they only gave us 75 of the 79 that we spent because she wouldn't give me the whole amount. I tried. Dee said no.
Do we know what the cost of that water line is?
No, we're still working on the cost of that. Initially, it was like 20-something thousand dollars, but Mr. Councilman Glick and I have seen where we can do it for a fraction of that, doing it ourselves. We haven't completed that yet, but we're working on that.
Do you have anything else, Miss Ann?
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ann. Pam?
Yeah, we already discussed part of the finance. The other part was for the 25 appropriation, which I spoke about before. It just need to get you through for 1 month, and we're going to have to buckle down to see what it's like without everything. What Margaret's got here is just enough to get us through on the necessities, the basics, the bills that have to be paid, they're ongoing, nothing extra. So then from there, in January, we'll have a meeting, hopefully the first week or second week, to buckle down to see what it's gonna be like, taking everything out.
So is this one the temporary?
That's the
budget for
temporary,
next
yes.
month?
It should say
Okay.
25 on it, not 24.
We,
24 was clear now this year.
there's money appropriated for the rest of the year for wages and that, and then I have got encumbered, like Home Depot, Marilee's, certain things that I knew we were gonna need.
Is that this?
But this here, I just based it on 1 month, because I really, like I said, I really don't know, and I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of money in there, and just, I don't, because I don't know.
No, that's a 24. She doesn't have one.
She doesn't
I
have
don't
one.
have a 25.
Here,
Just air cleanup. Thank you.
you're welcome.
That's a 24 one. Did you get one, Dan?
What
Should say
was-
25 on
It says at the year ending 25.
I don't know.
I thought it must be on the stack somewhere. Probably thought they were the same.
Pass that down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're both in December, so.
Yeah.
But it'll say calendar year ending December 31st, 2025.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Which
just
one
for
do you have
1
there?
month. So we can.
This is to satisfy the county auditors that we have got something in place. It can always be amended, you know, we can change it. We've just got to have something down there.
It's like we said, we've got to go in depth to figure out who, when, and what, because we're really going to have to definitely, you know, I hate to say it, but I mean, I feel like it's going to affect employees' benefits, our hours of operation. I mean, a lot. I mean, I feel like we'll exist, we'll be able to hopefully pay our bills, but it's going to be really tight. I think worse than we've seen it before. The last time we struggled, we had these troubles before, but we didn't have a lot of funds. This is way beyond that, unfortunately.
It is.
And what everybody else thinks, but this is just to get us through, to give us a little more breathing room for a few weeks. Not long, but we got to get back on it. The thing we do is look at the whole picture of just paying our bills alone and see what we have left.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's how it'll be, you know, with
To me.
no special nothing, no grant, no nothing, no anything. I mean, that's just what how we have to look at it. Paying our obligations.
So Pam, you said you have your meetings
We had one.
sometime in January?
Yeah, we had one scheduled for tomorrow to like discuss, but I just don't really think that
Right. Okay.
what we're gonna get out of it.
At some point, we're all gonna have to sit down.
Oh, yeah.
At some
But
point, we're all gonna
the
sit
first
down.
week in January is what proposing, then after the holidays, get back at it and give time to get some numbers together on taking everything out. And then saying what do we have to have, all the needs that we have to have, and then the wants, what's ever left, that's what we'll do. I mean, I don't wanna see anybody get laid off or whatever, but we're gonna have to do something. There's no doubt. In every department where we can. It's gonna affect not just our general fund, water, we all know that. Margret just told us how much she found out, like, as soon as any of you quits paying that bill, what's that gonna do to the water board? So we have to think about them too. Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules, read this by title only, declare an emergency, just to get us through for 1 month.
Second motion.
Yeah.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy. Is there any discussions? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
First reading, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. Second reading, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. Third reading, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Addyston, Ohio during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by, who was that over here? Kathy? Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
and Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I will email you the number on these. I'm sorry, I just didn't bring it up down, or my calendar book down.
That's fine. Do you have anything else, Pam?
No. Oh, I guess, yes, I do, I'm sorry. I just
Okay.
wanted to mention about the Christmas dinner on next Monday, what is that, the 23rd?
Food drive.
Yeah,
The Christmas
the
meal.
food drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that. There we go. From,
Those flyers are
I'll put
3 to 6.
Lots of videos,
3 to
too.
6 on Monday.
I hold it up in Spanish. Low flyers.
And there is a form that will have to be completed in order to be able to receive, the the produce and things from the giveaway.
So it's not
Just so
just
you
for
know.
Addyston residents?
No.
Good? All right.
It's on a, as long as the food item, or the meat item, the ham, hopefully the guy didn't call me back today, but I called them.
Yeah.
We went scouting for hams,
Yeah.
you know, to get the best price. And we
as
went
many as we
to,
needed.
we went to Kroger, we went to different places. Myers had the best price, and we actually spoke to Dennis. And then I gave him my business card, and he was gonna get a hold of Brandon, and he's gonna call me tomorrow, but that was Saturday, but I didn't hear anything today. So today I called and spoke to Dan, who was the one that Roy dealt with when Roy got the turkeys for the VFW. So we are in pursuit of trying to do it, and I told him we wanted to try to get 100 hams, and what kind of price range we were looking at. So hopefully I'll hear something tomorrow. If not tomorrow, they may be getting a visit, because I'm not going to be having Addyston say something and then must not be able to produce it.
Right, yeah. And
But it's been very generous
yeah.
at the VFW.
And it was cheaper going through them than going through like a vendor, like some places that we were referred to.
Well,
That was a better
Skyhaven
price.
was- Skyhaven was like $1.79.
Yeah, so we're trying to get the most for the money. Yeah. So hopefully it'll be a nice turnout again,
Right.
but trying to limit to one per household. That's the rule.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like, because the last time we do know we had multiples, people have several families in the same household. We really can't do that. We're trying to spread the wealth here. It's Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's all.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I almost forgot that one. That was a big one.
What
All right,
about
thank
the
you, Pam.
Christmas dinner,
The-
employees,
Oh,
That's Friday the 20th.
This Friday.
this Friday.
It is this Friday.
Yeah, you got an email.
Yeah, it's this
Yeah,
Friday
okay.
already.
Oh, I missed.
I did put an email out there and should still be on top since there's other people applying. You want me to resend it or?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know if Ann got it or not. She'd be contributing.
It was basically, hey, this is our employee lunch or whatever Christmas thing. And then I just put in there, I'm bringing X. If you want to add to the list of bringing whatever you're bringing,
Okay.
reply to all.
Yeah.
Mike, did you have anything?
Just PRV information, we want to go there.
Yeah, that's
Discuss it.
tabled for now, so there's no,
That's all I have.
unless you guys want to talk about that connection.
Which one is that? I'm
The
sorry.
PRV connection that we have to Cincinnati. The
Regular.
board approved it.
Okay.
So it's a connection for if we have to,
It's definitely, if we had an emergency, we'd be in a not good place right now.
It's the First Street
Mhm.
connection with City of Cincinnati
Yeah.
waterworks.
Is it ready to go? No, I didn't think so. I thought-
That's-
I made a
that's the
little
problem.
discussion-
Okay, that's the
Little
problem.
discussion there, you know.
yeah.
I mean, he can tell you about everything about it if you want to.
So,
Please,
yeah.
Would
please.
you like me to?
Yeah, go ahead and come on up
We
here.
need to be ready to go.
I mean, yeah,
Make it quick
honestly.
and easy, but I don't know if everybody understands the PRV and that connection with Cincinnati. Right now, there's a goal to have the line or the tank taken offline per the EPA, to have it flushed, inspected, and so forth. The PRV stands for pressure reducing valve. On the inlet side of that meter setting up there, the static pressure is 188 PSI. Addyston's operating system pressure, from what I've been told and surmised from putting gauges and doing a little math, it's like 65 PSI is max. So right now, that PRV has not been serviced for umpteen years, and Addyston owns that device. So historically, what happens, you're supposed to service that twice a year. Cincinnati has them all over the place. When I work for the city of Cincinnati, we have a group, that's all they do are regulators, rebuild, test. They're very sensitive creatures. So every 6 months, you need to go test and inspect it, and then the opposite 6 months, so once a year, you do a total rebuild of that thing to make sure it's reliable and predictable. Right now, the village of Addyston is vulnerable. There is no additional water source. Something bad happens, over here to the well field, well pumps, tank, what have you. We don't have any redundancy. That is our redundancy. The way a PRV works is, it's configured, it acts just like your tank, but that thing, the device itself will have a system set pressure like 65 PSI. That's a 6-inch device over there.
Yeah.
So what happens is, if Addyston's surface pressure drops below 65 PSI, this thing opens up automatically, and it's called bleeding off into Addyston. It'll feed water at a reduced pressure, like instead of 188, so it don't damage our fixtures and/or any of the customers' plumbing, internal plumbing, because at 188 pounds will do some catastrophic damage. So this thing just opens up, and it bleeds pressure into Addyston, and then once it hits 65, it just nice and softly closes. So it's been in service. I remember when I was a field supervisor for Greater Cincinnati Waterworks, I met whomever down here from the village, and I opened that thing up sometime between '03 and '08 because you lost the well pumps, the transformer had blown across the room. So, but there's no record of that thing being maintained over the years, so it's unreliable. It would be unresponsible for us to open that thing up right now because we will bleed high pressure to low pressure system.
What kind of costs are involved?
Total approximate cost is right under $5 grand. And what that consists of, Cincinnati's going to come in, they're going to rebuild that whole device, test it, inspect it, and put it back in service, make sure it runs. Now, I will tell you, there's always a risk with these things. These things are very, very sensitive. So that's why I have faith in the group that does it, because they do it all over. They do it for Norwood, they do it for all of our devices that we have throughout the whole city of Cincinnati. I have faith in them. But when this thing is rebuilt and tested, and then we get ready to put back in service, and I would recommend and I would participate in this, we will go around and we'll put gauges throughout the system at Addyston, just to make sure and regulate our pressure, to make sure we don't exceed 65 PSI at any point of the system. Then also we will open up some hydrants strategically as we open up the regulator for the first time to make sure it levitates, it doesn't burp or hiccup, because 1% of the time you end up with a water main breakout. They're not perfect, but 99% of the time they're reliable and dependable. But it is the only backup that we have currently. In order to get the tank offline, it's the only responsible way, professional way that I'm aware of to do that without risking bad things to happen.
Oh, counsel, I just want to interject there also. One of the things that I meant to mention to you is that when she was mentioned, we're trying to look for funds, we still had some money left from in that $40,000 water grant that I got a while back. So I'm going to get with April and see if we can't use that for that as well. It did go through the water board and they already approved it. So even like tonight, you guys could approve to move forward with working on this if you choose to. But I am going to try to get April to, because we have some leftover funds there.
At community development.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion that we move forward because
I'll second.
you definitely don't want to be at risk.
Motion by Pam, seconded by Dan. Is there any more discussion or questions for Mike? All right, call for the vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe. Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Thank you for that, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Did you have anything else for him?
Just that Cincinnati will want a service agreement with Addyston, and I think Addyston
We already have
wants a
one.
service agreement both ways, so everybody's on the legal.
Well, we can look at our contract and see if it's in the contract for up there, because it's been up there, for years. And Bob, they usually send us a new contract every year, the city does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like we just did that not too long ago.
Yeah, it was late,
Yeah, I was going to say we
Yeah.
did. So we do renew contract with them, but we
Yeah.
haven't been taking care of that PRV.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is something that's gonna have to be fed 2 times a year forever. I mean, in order to keep it
Just to keep it
functioning.
functioning.
If not, the device will be useless. But Cincinnati's not rushing us or stepping on our throats or anything. They want to help us, make sure that's functioning, and obviously so we have potable water and fire protection. So they're not rushing if it takes, a little time to get everything all together. But the longer it takes, the more we're at risk of something bad should happen. But if something bad should happen, what would happen is we would have to go into emergency mode and probably call them and say, okay, help, and they would help us. But we may have an outage for 24 hours or who knows, you know, hopefully no longer 24 hours for them to saddle up, get the parts, come in, rip that thing apart, put it back together, and then test inspect it, just so you know. That's all.
Thank you, Mike.
I just have a question. Is that call demand thing, is that up and running yet? Where we get the phone calls in case there's a water outage?
Well, you get a text.
A text? Okay. All right, just
Well,
asking.
on something,
It's up and running.
It
You
is up
guys,
and running?
did you guys, the mailer came out?
I got the mailer at home.
yeah.
Okay, the mailer's
just-
out,
you did,
we're up and
okay.
functioning, I just
Okay.
haven't put anything out yet.
So
Okay.
did it fix my address?
I don't know if it fixed your address, you'll, okay, so
Still on the
look,
ringer.
I spent 4 hours going through everybody's houses and checking it on Google, doing multitudes of change. Not only did we have Erlanger, we had Cleves, we had North Bend, we had Cincinnati.
Yes, they
Just a
were hard.
multitude of different addresses for people. I still got another street to do. I'm working on it,
Yeah.
but you should be fixed. I will double check, but that system runs on like Google Map. Like I can go in and still target if you're signed up and it's, your pinpoint is where it should be.
Right.
I can still target everybody in the area and send a text out, or just an all around text. But yeah, so it should be.
All right.
There'll be texts and no more phone calls.
It's the way this system was set up. Well, when I first met with dude, I thought, because I told him, I said, I'm going to text and calls. But then when I did the onboarding and learned how to do it, I said, well, what about the calls? He said, we didn't sign up for that.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, that
All right.
stinks,
Yes.
but if you want to pay another $60 a month,
Well,
That's-
oh, well. Yes.
Oh, okay, did you bring up about the code enforcer?
Yeah, I was asking about the code enforcer, the way he answered the email that I sent him. Sounded like he wasn't coming at all to the mayor said he comes
He
on
is.
Thursdays. Still, but the way he answered it, he was only coming for complaints or permits.
yeah, he's changed on that.
All
Okay.
right, we just,
That's been dealt with.
okay,
Okay.
just making sure we don't need to look for that too.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Hold on,
Whoa, you got him.
Wait.
hold on.
Sorry.
Oh,
Mayor,
you
if
slipped
I
in.
may, one item.
By all
The
means.
Gross Lane, no parking signs have been installed, and the sheriff's department's been notified.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
thank you, that's all I have. Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Almost made it in.
Who's got second?
Go
Do I
ahead.
need to repeat it?
That's
I got it. You got it.
Second.
You got a second?
I second.
Somebody
Okay,
did over there,
Ann
huh?
and Jennifer.
It's gonna snow tonight. We've never been that
No, it's-
I know it. Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I don't know if you're gonna be in or not, but would you sign these? So I can take care of them.
Is it supposed to snow tonight?
Yeah.